What's going on, everyone? Back again for another episode of Gold Method Explained. Today we're going to talk about one that's very, very popular in that it doesn't require you to be 160. It doesn't require you to do anything special. All you need to do is just exist and go to Craglorn. So basically, what's the heads and tails of this? Why is it valuable? To actually solve that question, we're actually going to go to the woodworking table, and I'm going to show you something that many of you may not realize, and that is that, let's look at the Inferno staff, is that we're going to look at traits. Nernhold is a very popular trait that can only be obtained in one way, and that is through Craglorn. You pick up random stuff, and you get this. These sell for 15 to 20k each, and you can find it by picking up anything in the overworld of Craglorn. So how does that bring us to our money-making method? Well, I've spent exactly 1 hour in Craglorn picking stuff up, and we're going to see the value that we get. So I had little things on, and I'll go back at the end of the video, but we're going to refine everything that I got, which in some things I did get a lot of silk. It's easy to see. So we got a little bit of elegant lining. That's probably only worth like 500 gold. This is worth, actually that's worth like nothing. So we got like 500-ish to start. Let's do the wood next. Oh, absolutely pretty much nothing. That's not the greatest, but that's okay. This is just sometimes this stuff happens. And then again, finishing off with not a lot. Now granted, we're not expected to get a whole bunch of alloys and stuff, but we did get 1 potent Nern Crux, and we did get 3 fortified Nern Cruxes. So what's a fortified Nern Crux? Well, that is the same concept, but it is at this one. So we got 3 of these in an hour. So these sell for 2k each. So that brings us up to 15 to 20k for the fortified Nern Crux. You're going to get more. I'm sorry, for the potent Nern Crux. You're going to get more if you sell them in a place like Deshawn. You're going to have to ask probably for a little bit less if you're another trader or if you're in global chat. I do have a Deshawn trader. So we'll say 20k. 3 of these, it's 26k. Picked up about 1,000 gold worth of other materials. And then I got about, let's say, like a couple thousand worth of alchemy ingredients. So not a whole lot. I'll take it to Craglorn so I can show you exactly what this looks like. I generally start up here. I find that most stuff is generally at the edge of mountains and like the rims of hills. So just give them a good old rim job, go in a loop and pick up everything you can. Sometimes you get alloys. Every alloy, the worst ones are worth, and by alloys I mean gold stuff. So every little thing you get can be anywhere between 4 to 8k. Sometimes a little bit more. Rarely anything less than that is, not likely. I think we also did pick up a Cuda, but I'm not 100% sure, so I won't count it in. So basically, you just go around. You can actually see it. There's a little thing in the distance there. And every time we pick up a little thing like this, we have a chance to get one. It requires no DLCs, as it's a base game. It requires no real knowledge of anything except the know-how to pick things up off the ground. So you need to know how to press the A button. If you have little highlighter marks, it makes it beneficial. Because, for example, I probably would have missed this little plant here, especially with the alchemy ingredients. I definitely would have missed that. And you just do this, essentially, for the entire duration of what you were doing. So profit, this is definitely going to be a 2 out of 5. It's not super profitable. It does have the chance, though, to be a little higher. But even at its highest highs, I think in an hour, you're still not going to make more than 40 to 50k. And that's really trying to push your luck. I mean, there might be some times where you get 2 in an hour. You'd have to be disgustingly lucky to get 3 or 4. And I think in that same hour, you're not going to get any for the hours afterwards. So I think that's where you're going to kind of count to your shortcomings. I'm sorry, homie. You can see that person's got a speed boosted set on to make him run faster. I believe they're wearing the coward's gear to just zoom around and pick stuff up, which can make it a more efficient method. So reliability, I mean, it is fairly reliable in that, you're going to get stuff, you're going to get raw materials, you'll be able to use some of the raw materials you get. So I'm not going to hurt it too bad. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I feel like in my hour of doing this, I wasn't super lucky, but that doesn't mean that you can only go up in some aspects, but I also feel like this is one of those methods where you could go a whole hour and get essentially no money at all. But sometimes that's just kind of how these things kind of go. Market stability, 4 out of 5. I mean, you're really looking at something that's going to sell for a lot, because how many people do you see out here doing this on an average basis? Not very many. How many people do you see needing fortified and potent urn cruxes? The market's fairly high. So the market's fairly stable, so you'll be able to utilize that a lot, especially if you're selling in some of the more high-brow traders. Other than that, though, I mean, if you guys have questions, just let me know if I've glossed over anything. It's a really, really straightforward type thing. I think my next video I'm going to look at alliance points, because to me, alliance points is how I make all my money. I know it's intimidating to a lot of players, alliance points, because obviously you have to do PvP. Many people play solo. They come from games like Skyrim or other games, and they don't know how to get into PvP, and I think that it is intimidating, especially people who jump straight to Cyrodiil and avoid battlegrounds. So we're going to look at alliance points next, and we're going to talk about it and how to convert that into money, especially with Mid-Year Mayhem coming up. If it is confirmed the start date, I'll do a video just on Mid-Year Mayhem. Also, that Heartwood, I forgot to even mention that. That's fairly valuable too. Your servers will kind of determine how valuable that is. It's usually between 200 to 300 gold each, because same with Mundane Runes, if you pick those up, which we didn't get, unfortunately, when that had been nice. So, I mean, there is a lot of value in doing this. I probably missed out, unfortunately, a little bit on some of the value just because I didn't record the whole hour, because that would take way too much storage capacity. But we'll look at alliance points next, because that's my favorite way to convert and make gold, especially with selling in 3 traders, because you can just make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of alliance points. And I think as long as, like, worst case, you should be able to turn 2 alliance points into 1 gold. So if you want to see that video, give this video a like if you really want, but I'm going to make it anyway, because I think that it's super important, and I think a lot of people waste their alliance points. But that's enough rambling. We're just going to kind of, maybe we'll get lucky before I run out. This is a simple chest. I'm ignoring it. Yeah, fuck simple chests. I ain't doing it. Let's do one more thing, and then we'll cut the video. We'll end on a pewter stream, and then I'll say goodbye when I run over to get that. And well, it's a lot of pewter dust. All right, boys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.